Hi, everybody. Welcome to our first episode of our podcast, Online OffStream, with Razzie Alisza. And
It is Stella. Hi, everyone.
how's it going? I hope you all look forward to our very random and fun conversations that we're going to have on this podcast. We don't have any specific plans other than the both of us just yapping away and talking about life and talking about things that we're passionate about or just want to talk about because Estelle and I both know each other. We've been friends for quite a while now, which is very
We have
exciting.
been,
Yeah, I
which
think
is very
it's
nice. I
it's
think
officially going to be a year like soon.
that's wild.
Well, no,
That's really
sorry. It'll
crazy.
be a year that we met in person,
Yes.
but we've
Yeah,
known each other for a little over a year now, I would say roughly.
definitely. I think probably about definitely like about a year and a half, I think.
Yeah.
And we've known of each other
Yes.
for close to three
For
years, which
yeah,
is
which is
even
crazy.
more crazy.
It's like
um,
we've known of each other for almost 3 years, and then like we actually started talking to each other maybe like a year and a half into us knowing each other, which is
yeah,
crazy because it's like I feel like in the online world, especially like being a content creator, you know of people, but you never actually like
absolutely.
reach out to them until something happens where it's like, oh, okay, now we're in a space together. We need to talk to each other and get to know each
And
other.
that thing for us was kind of being thrown into the deep end of being together in person at TwitchCon
Yes.
and like sharing a hotel room together.
Yeah. Oh my God. I feel like that like helped us build a super close bond like really fast, which is amazing.
Absolutely.
If you ever want to build a bond quickly with somebody, go on vacation with them.
Exactly. Well, it's interesting because I remember before TwitchCon, and this was TwitchCon 2023. Like leading up to it, I was nervous, but I knew of you enough to feel like, oh, like this is exciting, like we're gonna be in person, yay. But then being in person with you, I mean, it was instant like friendship.
Yeah.
Second you walked in, and it just, I think from that day forward, it was fast, but like we've immediately clicked, which is
Yeah.
so cool. And really is like testament to Twitch friendships that like just give it a shot, like try to be friends with people, and then you're
Hmm.
in person and it just happens.
Oh yeah.
Obviously not always,
Not always. Yes, that's for sure, as we both know.
as we both know. Twitch and content creation friendships can definitely go, they can take a hard left when you least expect it, but
Yeah.
the ones that kind of naturally flow and you end up creating a really honest and true friendship, those are the real ones.
Yeah.
You're a real one.
Yeah, it's definitely like you make friends with people and it can be great up until a certain point and then stuff happens. But then you do meet people where it's like, yeah, the friendship's actually good, it's genuine, it's meant to be, and it'll stay that
Absolutely.
way.
And at least in my experience, the difference of content creation and like making friends online versus friendships IRL, if you will, there is a very big difference, especially with like the long distance aspect.
Mm-hmm.
um like you're thrown into the deep end with your friendships of like having to make time to video chat, having to make time to play games together, and then to obviously schedule time to be in person with each other rather
Yeah.
than just going down the street for a coffee or something.
Yeah.
um which is hard, but it also shows the testament of the actual friendship,
Yeah,
um
exactly.
and what it means to us.
And
So
it's like the perfect thing of, when you care about somebody enough, you're gonna find the time to like hang out with them and make time for them kind of
absolutely.
thing. Also, like for those of you that are finding us, right on Spotify, right on YouTube or Amazon Music, where all the places that we're posting this. If you don't know, Estella and I are Twitch streamers.
Yeah,
We have met each other through mutual friends on Twitch. So we're both streamers. If you want to check us out, we will be having our socials posted somewhere on our page. Quick
absolutely.
little flex there for us.
Well, it's a flex, but it's also like the core of like a lot of what we do. It is on Twitch and it
Yeah.
is um, gaming related, and that I think that's actually a perfect segue into why we wanted to do this podcast in the first place was to kind of give a platform for things that aren't necessarily gaming related and things we wouldn't necessarily talk about like on stream. Nothing too crazy, nothing too, out there
We're
and
gonna like blow
wild.
your mind and tell you our personal
Absolutely
life stories. Oh my
crazy.
god. Spill
Oh
it all
my
on the
god.
tea. No,
All the I mean,
we don't want people finding us and then like we get in trouble in real life. So yeah,
exactly.
that's
Yeah.
not
We'll be
happening.
sharing tea, but not necessarily like we'll give them names.
It'll
We'll
yeah,
make it fun and cute and fancy.
it'll be
Um
incredibly generic.
exactly. Exactly. But our primary form of content creation is on Twitch
Yes.
and is gaming, and I mean both of us do lots of other things besides play video games on our streams.
Hmm.
Um but I think we wanted to create a space that was definitely separate from the video game portion of our streams and
Yeah.
really share more about us as individual people, because I think
Hmm.
that's something that streamers should get more recognition of, is like
Oh, a
we're real
thousand
people
percent. Yeah.
with real lives offline. There's a lot of stuff going on. um yeah, so I think that's why we really wanted to start this podcast in the first place.
Yeah.
um and
It's
also just to like chat and vibe.
yeah, literally. Like this is the perfect excuse for us to just be hanging out and enjoying each other's company and like make
Yeah,
time for each other, you know. Um
100%.
we've been good with scheduling time or scheduling times for us to hang out, but it's like this gives us a like more consistent hangout schedule, which is perfect. It's weird to
Absolutely.
say that like you need to schedule hangout times with people, but I feel like as an adult, that's how it plays out. You know,
That's
life
kind of
gets
how it is
busy.
even IRL.
Yeah.
Like trying to find time when everybody's schedule is full of small things from, just being tired to like work and big events, and everybody has stuff going on.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's even harder, especially being adults with those full lives and being in a long distance friendship
Yeah.
that has like been able to thrive online, but definitely have to cut out time and dedicate time.
Yeah.
So this is a
It's
perfect excuse.
yeah, so Estella's West Coast. I'm East Coast. So it's currently 8:37 p.m. for Estella and it's 11:37 for me right now. So this is our first
Commitment is
podcast.
here.
Sometimes I might be a little quieter on my end. If you're wondering why, that's why it is late. But we're doing it. We're making time for each other and it's happening.
Exactly.
And it's like I like we both believe in having like viewers or people in our communities understand or get the idea that streamers are more than just streamers. They're actual people. There's only so much that you would want to or can talk about on a stream because it's like
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, Twitch for most people, or at least how I look at it, is just a gaming platform, right? People just want to see
Hmm.
others play games on there, which I'm
Or
totally
just be
cool with.
entertained in a very
Or just
high
be entertained.
energy,
Yeah.
like sparkles and glitter kind of way.
Yeah.
Um, but podcasting, it brings a whole different side, I think, to both of us,
Oh, I
of just
agree. Yeah.
calm chatting, a little bit
Yeah.
more real. Not that we either like we
Not
don't
that we're like
put it
fake or anything. Yeah.
crazy on yeah, like not that we're that different on
Well, it's like
stream,
when you
but
stream, you're at a 10, but like a specific side of you's at a 10, you know?
yeah,
And it's like when you stream, people only get to see one specific side of you. and that's
Yeah,
all they know about you, and that's what they go with. Here on our podcast, I feel like we can be a little bit more um, open with our feelings and what we want to talk
most
about and get
definitely.
people to know us more by listening to our podcasts.
Yeah. And it gives us also a platform to talk about things that I know for both of us are important, and we do try to integrate into our streams.
Hmm.
Um, but some of the more, not necessarily depressing, right? But the serious,
Yeah.
the more, again, I guess the word is real, um, that both of us are passionate about or care about or are experiencing in our own lives. Because I know a lot of my viewers come to my stream as an escape from a lot of those intense, big things. And I make a point, like a very serious point, to make my space on Twitch an escapism
Hmm.
world. But I think here it gives us the opportunity to go into some of those topics that, even though we talk about and shed light on stream, to really be able to discuss in an open way without having to filter it, if you will.
Yeah. And I'm really excited about that. Like the idea of having a little like area on the internet for people to come to and just be like, okay, like I'm gonna listen to these people and like listen to what they have to say, and maybe I can relate to them. Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe the person listening can't relate, and that is totally okay. But it's like, if somebody's listening and they can relate to what we're talking about, great. It's like we could be another sort of escapism on another corner of the internet for people, which would be cool.
absolutely. I think both of us have a lot of lovely, very loyal community members who I know
Hmm.
are going to be excited, but I'm also looking forward to new people kind of joining us on this journey because this is different than Twitch.
Yeah.
Um, but knowing also that the people who do really appreciate what we do on Twitch, kind of seeing this other side of us, also, I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
Just because, again, we talk a lot. I mean, that's our stream mostly. Like, yes, we play games, but we're also
We're also
talking.
yapping
um,
away, yeah, while we're streaming. Yeah.
exactly. So I think having more talks, but also, again, in a different, just a different point of view of like a different facet of who we are as people and who we are as content creators.
Yeah.
Because both of us also post on other platforms besides Twitch.
Hmm.
Obviously, Twitch is our
Our
primary
main, yeah.
platform, but the struggles of content creation, it's an up and down experience on TikTok and uh, you know YouTube and
Yeah.
Instagram
Mental health.
and that other platform. Mental health, we're doing great. Just so everybody listening knows,
Totally.
we're doing so great.
We're absolutely sane. We are
100%.
totally mentally healthy, and like, how people talk about social media taking a toll on their mental health? Yeah, that's not us. Not at all.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
definitely not. I'm winking. You can't see.
Yeah. Also, so for those of you listening, Estella and I are on a call with each other, like, because we're long distance. We're on a call with each
Yeah.
other, and we have our cameras on, so we can see what we're doing. And it's just funny being able to like see each other's reactions to stuff that we talk about. So,
Yeah.
every now and then you might just like catch us maybe being silent and just making faces to each other or something.
It's very possible. And I think we'll definitely try, as our podcast develops and as we develop on topics, etc., we'll see how things go.
Hmm.
I think one or two visual podcasts I think would be really fun
Oh
at some
yeah,
point.
I agree. Yeah.
We'll just have to see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Uh, this is our first one.
Yeah, and like I think a great idea would be to just like have specific like goals for us, Twitch related, other things related, where we could be like, oh my God, we hit, or even just like for our specific podcast where it's like,
Yeah.
like we hit 100 followers, let's do live podcast
Whoop whoop.
thing.
Yeah. No, I love a milestone. I do
Yeah.
milestones a lot on my streams, because it really is a community effort. I
Hmm.
think Twitch as a whole definitely uses that as a driving force in their their marketing, is the whole community aspect. And I do believe that. I really believe both of our communities are our communities. So for this to be able to have goals that we reach, even 5 listeners, I'm like, slay, look at us go.
Yeah.
But having those, I think, would be really fun, and to be able to celebrate the community that we build on X platform that you're listening to this on.
Yes. Wherever you're listening to us on, it feels so weird to say that.
I know.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm very like I feel like I'm putting on a whole different persona than what I'm usually like on stream or something. Like I'm more calm and chill right now. But I think it's just like nerves kicking in right now because this is our first episode. This is our first time ever doing a
Yeah.
podcast. So we're both very new to this.
Well, also, again, like both of us, our streams are high energy
Yeah.
most of the time. We're both very extroverted on camera. Um, this doesn't feel that different to me, I think, just because both of us on FaceTime, this feels like a FaceTime call. Like we're
Yeah,
both just
literally.
chilling.
Yeah.
We're all cozied up, like we're
I know
comfortable.
I have a blanket on. I'm like
Exactly.
I'm all snuggly
It
up.
doesn't feel that different in that way, but then to know we'll be going out to the world, right?
Yeah.
That's when I think my brain is like, oh, usually
People are
I'm,
listening to us.
hyper and covered in glitter on stream.
Yeah.
And here I'm like, I'm just here, all cozied up, just a
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah. Like I feel like for those that are listening that are not familiar with our Twitch streams, there might be a different vibe, there might not be. I feel like I put on different vibes sometimes. And like for those of you that don't know what a VTuber is, I am a VTuber. I am like an animated person on the internet when I stream, so just putting that out there. But yeah, I just like it's nerves. It's got to be nerves. That's why I'm feeling this
Also
way.
different, I think, because you are a VTuber online.
Hmm.
Obviously I put my like face in front of my stream a lot. So anything that people say, they have a visual reaction to
Oh yeah.
from me. Um, and I think with this, obviously, I can see you. I know what he looks like.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god, special or whatever. But I think that's also different. Is just the way that Twitch as a whole is for a VTuber versus a face cam streamer.
Yeah.
So I'm sure this is also just like a very different perspective, just looking at it from that way. Because yeah, I'm an expressive person. When people say something weird or wonk, my brows go up. I said, what did you say? And you do the same thing, and your VTuber is amazing and is rigged to perfection.
Oh
Like
my
you have a lot of
god.
expressions.
Yeah, the
But
person that
it's
rigged
still
my
different.
VTuber, like they did an incredible job.
They did.
VTubing is very expensive, depending on, the kind of art that you want or the artist that you're
Of
going to
course.
commission or the person that you rig that commissions it. But they did like an incredible job, and I'm glad that I didn't have to break the bank to
Yeah.
get it to be the way that it is.
No, it
So I'm
looks
happy about
amazing.
that. Yeah.
Anybody just joining us, please do go check out this amazing art because the artist who created it, I don't know if we're doing shout outs on our first podcast here, but
Let's do it.
well, they're absolutely wonderful and incredibly talented.
Yeah.
And I mean, VTubing is an art in itself. And creating the art for
Hmm.
VTubers, like
Just
hats off
like
to you.
creating art in general, people that do art, people that take the time to
Yeah,
like be artistic and stuff are fantastic. Always support artists. Like give credit to artists
absolutely.
and give credit to people when credit's due.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not a VTuber, but I commission different art styles of me, as silly as that is, of like just me, to use on my streams and on social media and everything of
Yeah.
many different small artists on Ko-fi or Ko-fi. I don't know how we're saying
I
it these
have no
days.
idea how to say it. I
Ko-fi, coffee?
I literally always will say Kofi or Ko-fi and that's it.
Yeah, not
I don't
sponsored
know.
by them, but
No, not at all.
but
But
there's
if
so
anybody
many
knows, please
incredible
tell
artists.
us. Yeah.
How do we do that? These, how do we say?
Yeah. How do we say Kofi or Ko-Fi? Let us know.
I'm not sure. I feel like it's gonna be just like coffee because that's how it started. Is like buying somebody a coffee,
True.
but it feels wrong
Wait.
to call it
Can I
coffee.
can I Google this? How to say Kofi?
Coffee?
How do you pronounce it? Whoa. It rhymes with no fee, so it's Kofi.
Coffee. Okay, I was
Like,
not far.
have you seen that TikTok lady that makes like coffee in the coconuts? And she's
No,
like, coconuts. Oh my god,
I
you've
did
never seen them?
not.
Okay. There's this
Please send
lady
me this
on
video
TikTok.
later.
I will absolutely send it to you, but there's this lady on TikTok that makes like coffees and coconut and stuff, and it's so silly. She's like coconuts. And then she'll like slice off the top, and then she's like
Oh my gosh.
coconut milk. And then like pours it in. And then she'll be like coffee.
Oh my goodness gracious. No, I think
This is so
we have
extra.
very different For You pages sometimes. And I think I feel like I built mine brick by
Oh
brick.
my god.
Because there's so many things that call me out. And then I get messages from you. And like my lovely mother, Mama Melon, as my community calls her.
Shout out to
She
Mama
sends me stuff.
Melon.
Shout out to Mama Melon, we love. But like she'll send me things and I'm like, you guys are on different planets than I am. Like, what is this? And some of my other viewers, like my mods, some of them send me TikToks. One in particular, who lovely. Shout out to Chani,
Oh
truly.
my god, I love Chani. Yes.
Because she sends me just like the cutest, sweetest, nicest messages. Like this beautiful teacup, and it's like, you're as pretty as this teacup.
Oh my god,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm just here crying.
Yeah. Like Chani and Bubbles both send like really cute TikToks.
So cute.
Um, so the mutual friend that introduced Estella and I, their name is Jen. And my TikTok, when I open it up, it sometimes shows me very emotional videos where I'm just like, okay, I was not asked to be attacked today. This is
Called
crazy.
out.
And so, like, I'll repost it and Jen will see it. And then she'll send me another, like, emotional TikTok. And I'm like, what is happening? Why are we
Yeah.
making each other cry?
So Jen sends me just like the cutest thing. And then a lot of Taylor. A lot of
Yes.
Taylor
Oh
as
my
well.
God. Yeah. We're both
Um,
Swifties.
we're
I could see
Swifties.
people being like, okay, bye. This is where they not listen to
This is where
us.
they click off. Of course, we love and accept all people. Live your life,
Absolutely.
slay.
Yes.
But the day that Reputation TV comes out
Oh
and we're
my
recording a
God.
podcast, you guys as listeners are not going to be ready. Full
No.
transparency there. If
Yeah.
you're a Swiftie, we love it. If you're
Yeah.
not, we also love it. But this is your preemptive warning.
Yeah. On our first episode, our very first episode. So if people are like, when the album comes out and we're doing a podcast and people are gonna be like, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
this
no,
is
we
too much.
told
We're gonna be
you.
like,
We
we told you.
told you.
First episode, we told you. You
I feel
were
like this is a clip
warned.
moment
Yeah,
that we have to put everywhere as like,
exactly.
this is the warning for our podcast. We're
Yeah.
cute, we're slay, and if you don't like Taylor,
We're letting you know
sorry.
now that we're
We're
Swifties.
telling you.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it so much.
So
Um,
something that's popped into my head is I feel like people are probably gonna have questions, right? Like why a podcast?
for
Um,
sure.
like what do you guys do and stuff like that. And I feel like this is like a good opportunity to answer those kind of questions. So like why a podcast? Why are we doing a podcast? Well, because why not? No, I'm kidding. Uh
Really in-depth answer there. Why not?
why not? Everyone's doing it. Why not us?
Everyone's doing why not? I can only obviously speak for myself, but I think something that both of us have talked about is really showcasing the very human side of us.
Hmm.
there's so much that podcasts can be. And we're not trying to kind of shove ourselves in one particular niche at the moment, right? But having a place where we can exist in our very like chill, less high energy, less you know extra, I guess, way,
Yeah.
and really just be Estella and Razzie,
Yeah.
not necessarily the full, Estella M. Stone, glitter,
Razzie
whatever,
Alisza.
Razzie Alisza, which they're basically the same person, but like to just be a little bit more chill
Yeah.
and have another way of connecting with our pre-existing communities, but then also have some new friends join us.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
But
And it's like podcasts, the idea of a podcast is something that we both have been wanting to do for a while.
yeah.
And so we literally like what we talked about this last week, and
Yeah.
then we hopped in a call a week ago, and it was just a regular
And it was a
hangout for
normal
us.
call.
And then
It was a
like
normal call.
an hour into our call, we just start working. We're like, podcast, cool. Profile picture made,
It's
Twitter
so
banner made,
funny.
YouTube made, Twitter made, like Gmail made. We're done.
That's just like how I think both of us are though. It's like when we're committed to something, we are, all in.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was just a normal call for us where we were just talking about things.
Yeah, we
And
were
I
just
think
catching
earlier
up.
in the day, or like the day before, you had mentioned on stream that you were like, "Oh, podcasts would be so fun." And I ran to your DMs. I said, if
Hey,
you're
bestie.
serious, I've been thinking about this as well. And it just kind of like developed really quickly and in a very natural,
Hmm.
very organic way. There was nothing forced about it. It was just like, oh, that's a good idea. Okay, oh, did you like this graphic? Do you like this color? Oh, okay.
Well, I mean,
Here
like
we are.
I feel like the thing with us too is that we both have pretty similar tastes with some
Yeah,
things, right? So that helps. And like our creative minds are somewhat similar sometimes. So that
absolutely.
also helps. And like you know how people like you're friends with people, and when you're friends with somebody you feel like you have to always say yes to them kind of thing, like to their ideas and stuff like that. I feel like some things we're going to say yes to, but if it's something that we don't like, we're definitely going to speak up about it and be like, let's change that a
Yeah,
little bit, maybe, kind of thing. And so, like, the day that we were coming up with like our profile picture and stuff like that, we're like, yeah, I like that idea. I like that idea. And I mean, like, even though we're still kind of making changes, and for sure there's going to be changes in the future. Um,
definitely.
but yeah, like, our minds are pretty alike that making decisions is really easy
Yeah.
for us.
I mean, honestly, I think that really does stem back even to when we first met in person at TwitchCon.
Yeah.
Because when we were talking about what we wanted to do, and I'm very type A when it comes to planning. Everything else, ADHD brain takes over. But when it comes to planning a trip, as you can attest to,
Yeah.
there's a spreadsheet.
Oh
like
my
there's
God.
there's all
Okay.
this stuff happening.
If you are going to travel or like go on vacation, Estella is the person to bring. Like, the
Oh gosh.
spreadsheet she creates, how everything is planned out and laid out is perfection. Okay.
Aw.
I'm very much the kind of person that's like, oh, we're going on a trip? Cool. I don't plan anything. I just show up and go. But like, so I traveled with Estella for the first time last year, obviously, because we went to TwitchCon together, and everything was
It
just
really
laid out
made an
so
impression.
perfectly. Oh yeah, 1,000%. Like, bring Estella with you to your trips because
Aw.
it'll all go perfectly.
Thanks. I take that as a very, very big compliment because I do it mostly just so that I'm keeping track also of like myself and all of the numbers and confirmation numbers and things that I know can go wrong from experience of it going wrong.
Hmm.
So I'm always trying to protect myself in that way. But I also like making it easier for everybody, especially with a group, again, long distance,
Yeah,
all trying to communicate with time zones and work and life. Like, let's make it easy. So
yeah,
but it was funny because that trip this year I've done it a little bit differently because it's just like we're all a little bit closer, I think, so it doesn't have to be as like laid out. But last year I did an individual panel like request where it's like the things that we wanted to do, like everybody can put in what they want to do and
Hmm.
then we can separate if we don't want to do the same thing. But it was funny because I did that and then I looked at yours and then I looked at Jen's and all of us had the exact same things.
Yeah, we had,
So
there was probably like one or two things that was different, but it didn't collide or like overlap
yeah,
on something that we all wanted to do together, which was hilarious.
it was
So
perfect. And then we
it was
ended up
so
being able to
funny.
do everything.
Yeah,
But
we did everything we wanted to do, which was great. And then like the things that we didn't do though were things that we didn't know was happening at TwitchCon
exactly. We just missed
until we found
stuff.
out when it was there, when we were
Yeah,
there, and then we're like, okay, cool, that's like good to know for next year. And
exactly.
then yeah, like it all worked out really well. It was great.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, knowing how that trip went and knowing how very, very in sync that we all are when it comes to what we like and what we don't like, that was what was so perfect about planning this was we know that if we don't like something, we can voice it,
Mhm.
but most of the time we are going to like it because we do view things very similarly.
Yeah,
And where we look at things differently, I think is an asset to only making things better.
yeah.
So I'm excited. It's a fun journey to start.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's so much excitement that goes on with this. It's great.
I'm excited.
I remember last year we went to, it wasn't a panel, but it was like a little meetup thing. Um, I think it was like, I don't remember what it was called, but it was just like women streamers. Do you remember we went
Oh
into a
yeah,
room? Yeah. And then it was just like all women or femme presenting individuals that were in the room as well. Um,
yeah.
so I haven't told anyone this, but I remember prior going to, I was really like, I don't know if I should be going to that. Like, I feel really awkward.
Yeah.
Like, you and Jen should be the only ones going. Like, I don't know if I should be attending. But then in my mind, I was also like, I am the kind of person who I would like to be informed. Well, I didn't really know what it was. I thought it was going to be a panel.
I had no
Um,
idea what it was.
Yeah, and it was just like we were in a room. We stood at a table for majority of it, and people came up
It
to
was
us.
we all talked to somebody.
Yes, yeah,
That was
we
our
all
goal.
talked to somebody.
To
Yes.
somebody.
But I thought it was gonna be a panel, right? So I
Hmm.
was like, okay, no, I'm gonna go because it's gonna be informational, and I'm the kind of person that wants to be informed on all aspects of
I
things,
lied.
right? Ally, exactly. Ally to women. Um, and so that's why I went. But like, I'm really glad that I went because it was super fun, and I got to meet some cool people there.
Yeah. I'm glad you went too, because I felt very much like Twitch is an interesting thing online where so many communities overlap,
Hmm.
but having all of the communities overlapping in person is it's a wild thing.
Yeah,
Um, but I loved the fact that we were able to go to basically everything together. There wasn't the division of, oh, you have to be a certain person to
yeah,
get into these things. Um, and it was, I don't know, like it meant a lot to me. I can't obviously speak for Jen, but I'm sure it did, of like you wanting to go to these things with us. Like it wasn't a, oh, I don't want to.
yeah.
like, oh, like you were open to going,
Oh
and
yeah,
that in itself is like super fun.
yeah.
Um,
Because I
and
was
just a
like,
testament to the person that you are. Like
I'm
you're
with
so
people that I want to spend time with in person. We're going on cool adventures together. I'm gonna go to
yeah.
wherever they want to go, kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
I'm here to have a good time, and that's what we were
I
doing,
mean,
and that's
that's
what
how I
we
felt
did.
about the one night in TwitchCon where it was just the two of us at the party. It was like we're just going
We're just
to
going to
have
have
a
fun
great
and
time.
just going to do the thing. Cause why not, right?
Live
Um, yeah,
in
it
Vegas.
was in Vegas. Yeah, right. Like that's the thing. We were in Vegas, and Vegas can
And
sometimes not feel safe.
yeah.
But at TwitchCon, I felt so comfortable and safe and like just had a wonderful time there. And then like I wasn't even nervous because
Mm-hmm.
this was my first time meeting you. This was the first time meeting a couple of our other friends in person.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, the nerves weren't there, which was a really nice feeling. So it's like I felt comfortable, I felt safe, and I wasn't like really nervous, which was nice.
I mean, I remember being nervous just like about the trip as
Yeah.
a whole and being nervous like, oh my gosh, as I said, like deep thrown in the deep end. We're sharing a hotel room and like obviously I know you, I like you online, but like how are we gonna have
I
the
would
same
hope so.
vibe? Are we gonna have the same vibe in person? I'm like, I
Yeah.
think you like me, but like you never can tell.
You never know with people. You definitely
You
never know.
never know. So I definitely was nervous about that, but as literally the second you walked in the door and you gave me a hug, you were like, "It's so good to see you." I like everything. I was like, "I'm gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine, and we're gonna have a great time." Yeah, and us just like being able to communicate so effectively before getting there, also about what the trip was supposed to be, like it was all good and dandy.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I mean, for those of you who don't know, Razzie is like one of the sweetest humans on the planet, I have to say.
Aw,
And I'm not
stop.
just gassing you up. Like you true like I mean, I think you're just a lovely, lovely person. And TwitchCon can be a very stressful environment. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of people. Those of you who don't know, I'm like 5 foot nothing. Like I'm,
I
I'm
put
very
nothing. I
short.
love that.
And so I was nervous just like being in like a giant convention room space.
Hmm.
Um, and like we were able to like make decisions and cohesively as a group because we were there with a few other friends
Yeah.
as well. But like the couple times that the group kind of split and the two of us went off to do something, it was just like so silly and fun and lighthearted. And I felt a lot better like knowing like, oh, you're having a good time, I'm having a good time, we're doing
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. I feel like um for TwitchCon, there was definitely a lot of moments where it was just the two of us together.
Yeah.
And that's definitely like that's what helped build our friendship as fast as it did. And help
Mm-hmm.
like make it as strong as it is. And then like our hotel room was funny because
It's
it
so
was
silly.
like our friend and Estella shared a bed together, and then I was on the bed, like literally right across from them. Like there's
It
no
was
wall or
so silly.
anything, so we could
Not
see each
even a
other
bed. It
at
was a
all
pull-out
times.
couch.
It was okay, yeah, it was a
It
pull-out
was a pull-out
couch.
couch. You did us a solid.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
I felt
Um,
horrible.
no, it
I
was
feel
totally okay. Plus, it was only 3 days. Like,
yeah.
had it been a week, then maybe I would have been like, okay, like definitely,
Had it been a week, I think we would have been at a different hotel.
yeah.
Or just and I had like the good stick of the situation. Like I wouldn't have wanted to be there for a week.
No, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad we stayed where we did because it was a good location.
Yeah.
Um, but the area was definitely very interesting because, Vegas.
Vague and anything like off of the strip is like
Kind
kind
of
of
sus.
suspect.
Yeah.
But I mean it was, you know, good location, good on the wallet. It was the best situation for us.
Yeah.
But it was really fun. Like even though it was silly because we were like together the entire
Yeah.
time.
I mean, like,
Like
Estella and I even had a moment where what did we do? We were at the convention. We went back to the hotel and then we ordered like Jack in the Box and we
oh
just
yeah, I introduced you
sat
to Jack in the Box.
and had just like an open conversation with each other where we got to know each other some more. Like that
Yeah,
is a core memory that I have in my head. Just like literally
same.
sitting there on the counter in our hotel room and just chatting and getting to know each other. It was so nice.
That was one of
I had
my
a
favorite
blast.
moments of our friendship, I think. Just because it
Yeah.
was one of our first like moments, just the two of us in person, and I mean, there was so much excitement, right? Like, there's a lot of hype and yay, TwitchCon.
Hmm.
But then to actually like, oh no, we're just like in a hotel room and we're just two friends like hanging out.
Yeah.
Like putting it through that way rather than being like, oh, we're here as streamers, we're working. Having it be like we're here and we're friends. Like
Yeah.
that was so nice for me.
Well, I feel
Um,
like also
yeah,
a lot of people online don't know this about me, but I'm the kind of person who I like to talk about life. I like to have like open conversations with people where we just talk about life, talk about like real things, you know, like online people perceive me as this super like hyper kind of dumbed down persona, but it's like a lot of people don't know the side of me that just wants to have like sit down conversations people with people and like get to
yeah,
know them more. And so that's what we did. Like we didn't talk about
yeah,
anything super crazy or super serious, you know. It was just like us getting to know
no,
each other for the first time and talk about stuff.
yeah.
Um, but it felt like that we were having like an open heart to heart conversation with each other.
Very much so. I mean, because when you're first getting to know somebody, you're kind of laying it all out there anyway.
Hmm.
You know, like, like this is me that, I told you, I think I told you about like a little bit about my family and you told me about yours and like
Yeah.
just kind of getting to know each other beyond the screen,
Yeah.
like which even though we had, talked, it's different when you're like really in the same space.
Yeah.
Um
It's
and I mean
different when you're
now,
online and different when you're off stream.
hey yo, where do you think we got the title?
Crazy.
Crazy. Um, but it's like, and it's different now because obviously we had those moments in person.
Yeah.
That now, I mean, the tea goes back and forth all day, every day.
Yeah. It
Um,
really does.
so like, I think it settles, through friendships, like talking about things more online. But definitely those first like brunches, lunches, dinners, whatever
Hmm.
at TwitchCon of us being in person, um, definitely was like the start of like a really good friendship and an honest friendship because we were very
Yeah.
like, again, like this is my family, this is your family, we're here, we're queer, I don't know, like I don't know, we're just here vibing.
We're here, we're queer, and we're going to TwitchCon and meeting each other for the first time in person. Which, okay,
Yeah,
like, I'm thinking about it now. For the people that are listening to this that aren't, like, that don't know us from Twitch, or the people who aren't even, like, chronically online or just not online at all, this
mm-hmm.
probably sounds weird to you because it's like, you know, we're two strangers that met on the internet that went to
Yeah,
go meet each other for the first time in person in a whole different like state for Estella and a
yeah,
whole
in
different
Las
country for me.
Vegas.
In
Yeah,
Vegas, yeah.
because beyond me just being West Coast and you being East Coast, you're, from ye old Canada.
Yeah, I am Canadian, so I went from Canada to America to go to Vegas for TwitchCon to meet up with Estella and our other friend for the first time in person. And
It's wild. I think about it too
yeah,
much. My brain is like, Estella, you made some bold choices last year.
yeah. I mean, like, that's also what I did with my boyfriend. Like, we met each
Really?
other online. He lives in America. I live here in Canada. And, you know, I flew to a whole different country to go meet this person. And it's like, I'm sure to the people listening who are not online or like have no online presence and stuff like that, you're probably like, these people are crazy. And we are.
We are,
Yeah.
but we love crazy.
We love crazy. Yeah. You know, spice up life a little bit.
But to be fair to basically the case I made to the lovely Mama Melon, right? I had known you guys online, and like as I said, like I've known of you for 3 years.
Hmm.
Before then, like I had already been in person with a couple of our other friends in a separate situation. So like I knew I was going to people that I had been IRL with before. That like, okay, I'm not going completely by myself. I
Right.
had like a little bit of that in my head. It's like, okay, like I know these people mostly.
Yeah.
So I think it was a very different experience also for you coming and not having been in person with us yet.
Right.
but it
Oh,
worked
that's
out
right,
beautifully.
because you would have met everyone else the year prior.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot about that.
'Cause
Yeah.
2022, I didn't go to TwitchCon,
Hmm.
but the people that I had been closest to, because TwitchCon in 2022 was in San Diego. Um, I'm in California, so I made a little bit of a drive down to meet up with the people who had flown into California for TwitchCon, and we had a Disney day together. We met at
Yeah.
Disneyland, and that was 2022. So I had already met them in person,
Right.
um, and then from there, yeah, I had already been in person with them. So then the next year, I had already had their vibe.
Yeah.
So it was just like a different thing. But you came in no backup.
I know. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I know everybody that I'm going to see, but I don't know anyone prior to in person. Like, I've never met any of you in
Exactly.
person before. So, um, I don't know. Like, I don't even know if I can say. No, I was nervous. I definitely was nervous, but the nerves when I met everybody in person just like immediately went away.
Yeah. I mean that's very much how I felt. Like you walked in, it was like a very exciting moment, and then
Yeah.
from there it was just like chill. Like it was interesting because Vegas is anxiety inducing. Like
Oh
it's a
yeah, for
lot.
sure. Yeah.
And I was so nervous just about Vegas as a whole. But like there were only two moments, and they're very distinct moments in my head of actual like anxiety, and none of them had to do with you guys at all.
Yeah.
Like
Was one
the
of
one
them
moment,
the meet and greet thing?
yeah, that
Okay.
was the main one.
Yeah.
Meet and greets at TwitchCon Las Vegas were not for me. The
Yeah,
line
no,
was
that
just
was
not
busy.
managed in a way that I felt comfortable being in.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta go. Like I can't be
I
here.
know. I
So I
remember
just
walking up to it with you and you looked like frazzled. And
I
I'm
was
like, "Are
sweating.
you good? Like do you want to do this?" And I remember you just being like, "No,
Yeah.
we're gonna go." And I'm like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah. No, I felt bad not doing it on one hand, but like it just was not the environment that I wanted to be in that moment. Like I
Right.
much preferred to do something else that was not that kind of chaos. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what other word to describe it, but and I appreciated the fact that like you initiated that conversation as well. You were like, you don't have to. Like we can go. But yeah, that was the one moment, and then the classic that I've talked about a lot on my stream because I think it encapsulates very much our friendship is the when we were walking into the party and somebody was trying to buy your
Oh
badge.
my God. Oh my God. Yeah.
I
Okay.
I've
That
talked
was a
about it a lot on
moment.
stream.
Yeah. No, we talk about this all the time because it was such a like unexpected moment, but it was also so fucking funny.
It
Like,
was so funny.
yeah, we went to the Twitch party and I guess like there was this person who didn't get a ticket and the Twitch party
They
sold
weren't
out.
even a
So
part of they weren't even a part of Twitch, period.
yeah, it
Like
didn't
they
look
didn't
like they
have a
were.
badge or anything of just like
Yeah, like they didn't
TwitchCon
have
as
a
a whole.
lanyard or anything either, right?
Mm-mm.
And so we're walking to get into the party, and the dude yells at us, and he's like, "I'll buy your ticket off of you for $500." And Estella
I
immediately
yeah.
snaps and is like, "No!" Grabs me, and we just go right into the thing. I'm like,
Again,
"What just
to
happened?"
paint the picture, I'm 5 foot nothing. Razzie, exactly how
I'm
tall are you?
I'm 6'1".
Like I knew you were like 6 foot and maybe a little bit more. So 5 foot nothing,
Yeah,
6'1".
yeah.
um, to be fair, I was like born raised New Yorker. Like I do have the city edge, but I'm still 5 foot nothing. I'm compact. But I grabbed Razzie and
Yeah.
like pulled him. I was like,
Okay.
no.
Have you seen that video of Renee Rapp and Drew Barrymore having an interview together? And then the dude barges in yelling at Drew Barrymore, and Renee Rapp
Yes.
and her get up, and like Renee like
Like
escorts her to the
protect
back.
her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
picture that, but Renee Rapp grabbing Drew Barrymore's arm and going forward. That's what it
It
was.
was a little aggressive. And again, for like our second day knowing each other, I like
Yeah.
told you.
But I will say I felt safe. I did feel
Oh,
safe, which is so funny because you have a 5 foot nothing person pretending a 6 foot 1 person.
I said rar, bitch, rar.
Literally. Hey, I always say to people, be scared of short people. Do not make them angry. They will fuck you
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, and as we always say, that was my like most Leo moment ever.
Yeah.
What very much that moment of protection.
Yeah.
But
Estella is a Leo through and
yeah.
through, which is
Oh.
so funny.
I feel like it
Oh,
comes out. It comes out in moments. Because I don't have the like I think bad stereotype of Leos,
no.
but I definitely have traits when it comes to like protection and loyalty. I'm like, don't fuck with my people
Yeah.
because then I'll be sad.
Yeah.
And then you will
Like,
be sad.
I think one of the like bad stereotypes for a Leo is that they're like full of themselves.
Yeah.
Um, and you're not like that at all. Like, if I were to use the stereotype of you being full of yourself, I would say that the only time you're ever quote unquote full of yourself is like when you're working on content creating or something that you enjoy working on or want to be working on because you put your all
Hmm.
into it. And when you
Yeah.
do that, that's when you can flex and be like, yeah, look at what I did. I'm the shit. And it's like, yeah, yeah, you are.
See, it's funny though, because a lot of the amazing things that have happened or that I'm working on happening specifically for content creation, a lot of it I just kind of guess, like I throw my hat into the ring to see what happens.
Hmm.
And it's funny because a lot of the Twitch stuff specifically, I do put my all into, and I work very hard to try to do well and to be proud of what I'm creating. But like about 99%, like no BS, 99% of the like really cool things that I've been able to do, I literally just was like, we'll see. Like,
Well, I feel
I
like
don't feel
that's
like
what it
that much.
is, right? Like, it's like, just do it. What's the worst that can
Yeah.
happen? They say no,
Worst we
or
say
you don't
no.
hear back, or whatever, right? Like, I feel like 99% of content creating is just do it. Just
Yeah.
go for it. And if you don't know what to do, still do it. Shoot your shot.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of trial and error. You learn, but you don't
Definitely.
learn without doing things and you don't learn without making mistakes. So just do it. If you're
Yeah.
listening to this and you want to get into content creating or you're already a content creator and you're unsure of something, just do it. Just do it. Go
Just
for
go
it.
for it.
Full send it.
I mean, again, the worst thing they can say is no. And for me, the biggest thing is like create content that you love, create
Hmm.
content that you're proud of, because guarantee somebody on the internet will think it's cool, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and you find your people. You find the people that want to be there.
Yeah,
And the people
exactly.
who don't, they can move on and
They can
find something
go.
else that they're interested
Yeah.
in. Like, bye.
Yeah. It's like, if our content isn't for you, and you want to go, all right, bye.
Not gonna make it.
Like,
Exactly. But the people that are meant to be there are meant to
we'll
be
be
there.
there. And yeah, we'll be happy to be there and we'll stay and, like, won't complain.
What did I say to you the other day? It was very wise. We were talking about jobs. It was like,
Oh
oh,
my God.
this one's I'm really proud of. I'm really proud of this one. It
Do you remember it?
says, yeah, I do.
Okay.
What is for you will not go by you.
Yes.
And this is
Yes.
something that has been like the kind of driving force, I think, in a lot of ways for both offline work, but specifically content creation.
Hmm.
It's like what is supposed to happen, whether it's, energies in the world or whatever you believe in,
Yeah.
whatever it is, it's like what's supposed to happen is going to happen. And if it's not meant to be in general or not meant to be right now, okay. You know,
Yeah.
what is supposed to happen, it will stick. And what it isn't,
Exactly right.
all good.
Yeah.
I felt really proud of that one because we were talking about jobs and both of us were on the job hunt
Yeah.
around the same time recently.
Yeah, this was
And I
like
was like,
before you started working, right? I think
yeah.
no, this was well, I guess you started
After my
working
first interview that was that I got approved for, both
right.
of us just started back at new jobs for context.
Yeah,
Um,
and
I had
like
done
I
an
was
interview.
struggling to find things for a while.
Yeah, yeah. I had just done an interview, and it's like if it works, great. If it doesn't, what can we do? But
Right.
um, yeah, I don't think it was that long ago, but it feels like forever ago.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because time is crazy and it flies by, which I hate.
Yeah,
But it's such a good saying. Like it sticks and is definitely something to always think about.
yeah,
It's an important thing for sure.
and it's
But
applicable in many areas.
oh, for sure, yeah. But now we're both working again, so that's fun because, now we need to add that into our schedule and work things
Yeah,
out with that. So that's always exciting. That's always great. But hey, at least we can now afford to do the things that we want to do because
like
aside from
go to TwitchCon
TwitchCon,
this year.
yeah, we're gonna go to TwitchCon this year again, and then
Yeah.
we have we're gonna go to Disney. Um,
Yes.
I'm gonna be staying a week in LA, which I'm super excited about.
I'm so excited.
And then we're going to see Taylor at the end of the year, which is also
Yes.
super exciting.
I think about that. I'm like, this is what's getting me through my shifts, not gonna lie. It's like, okay, TwitchCon, seeing my friends, being all together,
Yeah.
and then also Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That
also seeing Taylor Swift with my friend.
I know,
Mind blown.
right? Oh my God. Okay, so we're gonna be fan queers here.
As we
Um
should. It's our podcast.
it's our podcast. Yeah, we could do whatever we want. So we're going to the Taylor Swift concert at the end of the year, and I'm super excited about that because that's my first ever concert. I've never been to any concert before,
I'm
and
so
I get to go
excited.
with Estella. Like I get to go with you, and I'm so excited about that. Like I'm not gonna talk too much about it because I feel like I'm gonna cry.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
I don't know. I don't know what it is about like I don't know. Like just thinking about it makes me really emotional. I know when we're there at the concert I'm gonna cry.
I
Because
I know I'm gonna be a disaster. Well, we were a disaster. We saw the Eras movie together in
we
Vegas,
did. Yes.
and it was the two of us and one of our other friends who's a massive Swiftie,
Yeah.
and it was the three of us in this theater. And I mean, we were not okay, and that was
No.
the movie. Putting us in the stadium together, we're supposed
Yeah.
to be fine. I
We're
don't think
supposed to
there's
be
any
like, ha
other.
ha ha, yay, we're having so much
We're
fun.
here.
No, we're gonna
No,
be like, ha ha ha,
here's.
ha 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 ha.
No, I'm not gonna be okay. No, I understand. It's fair to get emotional. I mean, I've being in the Swifty world and Swifty space, it's like you can get really excited, but now having friends who also get it,
Hmm.
it's even more powerful.
Yeah,
I think, and the fact that it's your first concert,
I know.
that's so exciting. What a
Yeah.
perfect first concert, also.
I like, I'm so excited, but also I'm a little nervous because, I'm a fairly anxious person and being in crowds can definitely spike the
For
anxiousness.
sure.
And it's a Taylor Swift concert, so
It is the
there's gonna
crowd
be
of
a
crowd.
lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah,
So the moments going from outside into the stadium to our seats is gonna be a little nerve wracking. But then I know while we're at the show, I'm not going to think of anything other than the show and the fact that we're there. And then
Exactly, yeah.
after we're leaving, it's going to be like anxiousness again.
For sure. And I mean, I'm just grateful that we have seats.
Yes.
Because I know for me, like I can't do like the general admission wait for 3 hours before you can get in, to not be able to leave your spot to then go to the bath. Like I cannot.
Right.
I can't do it. So I'm grateful we have seats. I mean,
Yeah.
I would take any ticket. Like the fact that it's even happening, gratitude, grateful, thank you.
Right.
But if I had to choose, it's our situation of like having a seat, being together. Like I'm much better in crowds with people.
Yeah.
You know, like one person minimum that I know,
Oh yeah,
that like
1,000%.
then I'm fine.
Yeah.
By myself, no thank you.
Mm-mm. Nope.
I'm
Mm-mm.
good.
I can't. Like, I can't even go to a grocery store by myself sometimes. Like, that's how bad it can be. And I'm
Instacart.
just like, I can't.
Not
Literally.
sponsored.
Yeah. No, not sponsored, but like any sort of app that does deliveries, yes, please use them all the time. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick to that, and I'm always gonna do that.
Same. And I mean, I'm very grateful that like there are some in my area, there are some grocery stores that have like basically like anxiety shopping time, which is like really cute. And I'm very grateful that that exists because
Yeah.
sometimes we'll go to that. Um but yeah, for like big shop, like I do not want to be in, you know, a giant Walmart. Like that's not
Mm-mm.
for me. I get lost, like I get scared. I don't
Yeah.
need that.
No, thank
So
you.
I'm grateful that there are options.
Yeah.
But it definitely means like going to concerts and like bigger events can be even more overwhelming because I'm
Hmm.
not in the general public, you could say.
Yeah. And I'm
um
sure for you, it's gonna be like a little bit nerve-wracking because you'll be going from the States to Canada. So
I was thinking
that's
about that
bad.
because I've not done an international flight like by myself
Oh,
in like definitely since pre-pandemic.
oh
Um
wow.
and I'm like, what do I say to the border agent? Like, I'm here for Taylor? Like what? Like what
I'm
do
going
I
to the Taylor
say?
Swift show.
Why don't you just
Probably
call
like,
Taylor up?
yeah. What if you call Taylor up? I'm sure
Exactly.
like you could probably just say, yeah, I'm going to the Taylor Swift show, or I'm just going to see friends.
I'm gonna just see friends. It's gonna be fine. I don't want
Yeah.
them to try to like knock me down or something for tickets.
God, imagine. Oh my God, that would be crazy. Yeah, sorry,
No,
we're not
it'll
letting
be
you through
good.
because you can't go to the show. Have fun.
Like, sucks for you, they're not on my phone.
Yeah, literally right. Loser.
Luther. No, it'll be fine, but it's definitely gonna be different. And also just like concert rules are different in Canada versus the States.
Are they
Like
really?
the venue rules. Well, some of them I think are more similar now, but like even just like bag size, like here you have to have like clear bags or no
Oh,
bags.
yeah.
Like some venues don't allow you to have a bag for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Um, America,
America.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I don't know actually about this venue. I should probably look into that.
Right. Um, yeah, I'm sure like I don't really know our venue rules here because, never been to a concert or a show or anything here.
Right.
But I don't think we need to have clear bags.
Okay.
You can just have like a regular bag because we don't have to worry about the things. I mean, like
Yeah,
we
it's a bit of
do,
a
but
different.
not
It's just at
as
a different level.
much. Yeah,
Um,
for
no,
sure.
it'll definitely be interesting. And also just like as I said, like I haven't done an international flight by myself since pre-pandemic. But for Taylor and for friendship, worth it. I
Yeah.
will fight the anxiety of airport.
And like the thing is too, yeah, we're not going
Or
just for like the plan itself is we are going for the show, but we're going to be doing so much
right.
more than just the show
Yeah, we're
because
staying a couple extra days.
yeah, and like we'll probably post it somewhere on like Instagram and stuff of what we're doing and
Yeah.
like I'm so excited because So we're going to be going to the west side of Canada. We're going to be in British Columbia, which is a province here in Canada, for those that don't know.
For the Americans.
For the Americans, we do have some European listeners that may not know. The seafood there is good because it's on the west side, right? Like,
And
I live
yeah.
in Toronto, and our seafood isn't the greatest because we're like middle-ish of the country, right?
Hmm.
But then you go to BC, British Columbia, and like their seafood is like greater because they're closer to the ocean and stuff like that.
I'm so excited because our friend Jen, who is also the other Swiftie
Yeah.
who we will be seeing, she's been talking about like sushi
Hmm.
and like I live in California, right? Like I have a certain amount of sushi privilege, and I know that. But
I can't wait to have a sushi burrito. I'm so excited.
oh my gosh, that's like number one, like day one in LA, like sushi burritos in LA. You guys, if you haven't done it,
Ugh,
do yourself a favor.
I can't
Um,
wait. I'm so excited.
and there's a place that's like fairly close to where I live that like does them so well. It's just that's a side conversation. I can talk about sushi burritos for hours, you guys.
I
That's
do
a whole
not
separate
care
episode.
what anyone has to say about it being like any sort of abomination. It is one of the best things ever created, and I will stand by that. I've never had one,
Ah,
but when I do, I will cry. I was going to say
you've
something else,
heard
but I probably
me
shouldn't say
talk
this
about
in the
them.
podcast, but
Oh,
I'll
oh,
cry.
you've heard me talk about it enough. At this point, I think you understand like the importance of a sushi burrito.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think you get it.
Yeah, a
Oh,
thousand
because it's
percent.
literally like one of my favorite things ever. Um, but Jen has been talking about um, BC sushi for a hot sec as well. And I'm
Yes.
curious to see how it compares to me, like to the sushi that I normally get.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm curious.
Um, that and like oysters. I really want to have
Hmm.
oysters in Vancouver.
I'm trying to think. I haven't had oysters in a really long time, and I can't remember if I liked it or not.
Oh, well, if we do go to any place, I will order some and you could try it.
Okay, I'm down. I'm down. I'm always fine to like try new things for the plot, right? As
Yeah, I
long as
mean, here we
it's
are
not
doing a
forced
podcast,
upon me.
so
For the 2024 for the plot.
for the
That's what we
plot,
said
yeah.
from the beginning, and I feel like both of us have very much been acting for the plot.
Yep,
I think we can only continue with an oyster.
exactly. Yeah. Yep, it only
No,
makes
I'm down.
sense. Yeah,
That's
we
the
have
thing, is it's like we're on a journey, we'll see what happens.
exactly, yeah. We have so many big things planned for this year.
Yeah,
Like it's past, it's more than half the year. This second half of the year is going to be insane for us. It's going to be
busy,
super busy.
busy.
Yeah. There's things that like we can talk about, things we can't talk about.
There's a lot
Um,
in the works, is what I
yeah.
can say for both of us. We've been cooking.
Do you know how hard it has been to not tell people that we're doing a podcast right now?
I was thinking about this
I mean,
on stream the other day.
like my boyfriend knows, Buns knows, but nobody else
Someone Ellen
knows.
knows.
Okay.
But like it was funny because I had mentioned it and I said like just pretend I didn't tell you. And then like the next day like I had talked about something like that we were doing a meeting or something about it. She was like, "For what?" I was like, "Oh, are you kidding or like did you actually forget?"
I
I think
love
I
that
think it
so
was a
much.
little bit of a half hat.
Right. It's like, wait, what are you talking about?
um, but on stream I almost slipped. I
Oh
was like this
no.
close. I was like, I'm just working on stuff. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
I can't, like, part of me feels like I said it yesterday, but I can't remember if I did. I feel like I might have mentioned on stream, but I don't think I did. So I'm like, if I
Any
did,
part
maybe
that I
people
was
forgot. So
there, any part that I was there for, I don't think you had.
Okay, good.
Um,
So,
you had other oopsies on stream that like I think would
yeah.
overshadow also anything.
True, true. For those of you that
So
are
I think it's
listening that
fine.
didn't know, surprise, we have a podcast. And for those of you that are
Surprise.
listening that did know, not surprise.
It's literally just your boyfriend and my mother. They're like, okay,
Yeah, thanks.
thanks so much for the
Feel
shout out.
special, okay?
Exactly.
We tell you
No, they're the only ones.
everything. Yeah.
True. Very true.
Yeah, the people
So
in our lives that we tell everything to.
most things, yes.
Most things, yeah. Yeah,
No,
no,
it's exciting.
the slip that I had yesterday was funny. That was great. Like,
I thought it was hysterical, but I also knew like it was at that point because it was pretty early on when it happened. Not everybody had trickled in yet. So like it was the handful of people that are trustworthy
yeah, know
and
what I look like and stuff like
know what you
that.
look like. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if we actually said what the oopsie was. Razzie again, Vtuber on Twitch,
Yes.
accidentally turned his camera on.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
stream with a face cam stream, so like people don't see my actual face when I stream. And I accidentally hit the button that turns my webcam on and just showed everybody my face. I am okay with showing my face online. I don't do it to like hide anything. I just feel more comfortable hiding my face every now and then. Um,
yeah,
but it was just like an unexpected moment, and I'm like, why? What did I just do? Why did I do
it was
this?
just
What just
silly
happened?
goofy.
Yeah. I'm like, well,
And
that's my
honestly, it was the
face.
look of panic that was
Yeah.
also a little bit funny.
Yeah.
In the most loving way I can say it. I thought it was hysterical. But it
I'm
was only
like,
like a split
that's my
second. So
face.
like yeah. And
Yeah.
it was just your face. It's not like your name or your,
No,
address or
yeah.
something scary. Like that's not funny. That's serious.
Yeah.
This was just like a little like boop.
Hee hee.
Also you have a new haircut and most people didn't
Yeah.
know about it.
No,
Like
nobody
I
knew
think
about
it was just
it.
your boyfriend and me.
Yeah.
I don't think you had told anybody else
Nope.
at that point. So like,
Nobody knew. So I'm like, well, now you all know I have a buzz cut.
like surprise. Just flex that.
Yeah.
No,
Here's
it's
my
all
no
good.
hair. No, I love like I love the comments being like bald. You're bald.
Your fault. And then
Like I
I
do
don't
have
remember who it
hair.
was, but they redeemed your bald redeem on your VTuber.
Oh my
So then your
god.
VTuber was bald.
Yimmy. Yes.
Yeah.
One of my moderators on Twitch and one of my besties redeemed bald, so I was bald.
It's for the plot, for the
For the
chaos.
plot. Exactly, literally.
Well, I think that for our first podcast, I think we're having a great time, and I'm
Oh,
excited to see
absolutely.
how things continue. You mentioned it earlier on when we were talking, but for anybody with questions and questions that maybe we didn't fully answer today, we do have a Twitter slash
Hmm.
X page. You can find it linked, I'm sure, on whatever social platform you're listening to this on. But it is our podcast name on uh, Twitter or X, whatever the kids are calling it these
I will never
days.
call it X. I'm always just going
It
to call it
feels
Twitter.
wrong.
Yeah.
Feels wrong. So on Twitter, and you can tag us and submit questions to us
Hmm.
on our Twitter page at Online OffStream, which is very cute.
Yeah.
And we're happy to answer some questions. I'm sure we'll be doing some podcasts that are solely on questions, which I think will be fun.
Yeah.
But that's our Twitter page. Feel free to tag us, and we will happily answer questions. And if you have any fun things you want to share with us, that's the best place to do it.
Yes.
Also, as we've talked about, we're both streamers, so you can find us on Twitch. Same names that are credited on the podcast. So at
Yeah.
Estella M. Stone on Twitch.
And Razzie Alisza on Twitch.
There we go. Get us professional.
So profesh.
But we should be recording and having new episodes.
Hmm.
Every Wednesday is what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
Obviously, things change, things develop. So again, our Twitter page is the best place for those updates. Also, we'll be sharing just cute little things on that. So that's our
Yeah.
main platform at the moment.
Yeah. We're going to have we have a YouTube page. We're going to be uploading these podcasts to Spotify and Amazon Music.
And Apple
And
Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts. Yes. And yeah, we have like a Twitter, so you can check us out on all of the different social media programs or platforms. And then, if you want to support us, you can always drop us a follow, get our updates on like Twitter and stuff like that. And even just check out like our personal Twitch channels or personal
We
social
do
media
collab a
pages
lot
too. Yeah, we do
together on
collab quite
those as
often.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be trying to record like every Saturday, get episodes uploaded every Wednesday. And it's just gonna be like a great, goofy little shenanigan vibe
No,
stuff.
it's chill,
Yeah.
and any updates, of course, we'll be posting. But as Razzie said, Wednesdays are going to be our upload day, so keep an eye out. Follow us on whatever platform you're listening to us on for those updates and those notifications when a new episode goes live.
Yeah. Awesome.
We're
Amazing.
professional.
I'm really excited. I am very
Me too.
excited for the future of this podcast. I'm very excited to be doing it with you, Estella. And I'm very excited for all of you to hear more episodes that we'll have planned for the future. And hopefully this is something we can do for quite a while, because it's like this is our first episode. Um, I think personally for our first episode we're doing great.
We're
And
doing
like
so slay.
I can't wait to see what our episodes could be like in the future. So I'm really
Absolutely.
excited for that.
Me too. I'm excited. A new addition to our content creation journeys.
Yes.
And I'm very excited to be doing it with you. If there was somebody that I wanted it to do it's you. We have such a organic, natural flow to our conversation. So
I
it
agree.
works.
Yeah,
I'm
it's perfect.
excited. Yay.
Well, this is probably where we will wrap up our podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I
Thank you for
appreciate you all
listening.
lots. We both appreciate you lots, and we appreciate you taking the time just to listen to our podcast and listen to the things that we're going to be rambling on about, and enjoy tea spilling with us and game talk and Twitch talk
Yeah.
and content creation talk. We're going to be covering a lot. There's so many things that we want to
We
talk
both have a
about.
lot in our brains
Yeah.
that we share.
Yeah.
So as I said, we're not going necessarily for a particular niche at the moment.
Hmm.
We're just vibing and seeing how it
Yeah.
goes.
Just being a version of ourselves that we don't show on streams. Um,
Exactly.
and I'm very excited for all of you to see this other side of us that we don't usually show on stream. Yeah.
So excited. Thank you guys so much for listening,
Yes,
and
thank you.
catch you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.